Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. SmackDown Live, the SmackDown Live era is over. I remember like it was yesterday, man. It's probably in the last 3 years, I would say, probably a little bit more than that. Within the last 3 years, it's probably one of my favorite videos. It was full of raw emotion. It was full of just truth. It was full of just me wanting the WWE product to be good. And that's my only intention when I come on here. I want it to be good. This is why I complain, because it's not good. I want it to be good. They have the potential to be good, and they're not. The 2016 draft gave the SmackDown Live era, this era that we're currently ending right now, the SmackDown Live era, hope. Hope. 2016 draft was great. Now, SmackDown coming out of that, a lot of people were afraid. A lot of people were complaining that SmackDown got the short end of the stick. As far as the roster goes, Monday Night Raw was bolstered by every big name that you possibly had outside of AJ Styles in the WWE. I remember it like it was yesterday, like I said, man. Finn Balor and Roman Reigns. Finn Balor won a Fatal 4-Way. I don't remember who it was with, but he won a Fatal 4-Way to challenge Roman Reigns in the main event of that Monday Night Raw, and he went on to beat Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the vacant Universal Championship that year. Then he got hurt. He got hurt in that match at SummerSlam. He was out for about 7 months, had to vacate the title. But coming out of that Monday Night Raw, I had hope. And then that hope obviously went up into smoke, because Monday Night Raw is Monday Night Raw. But SmackDown Live, where people were worried about SmackDown Live in this era, that they got the short end of the stick as far as roster goes, they produced some of the best WWE television that I could remember. Since 2016, I don't want to say that I hold it near and dear to my heart like an NXT, but as far as main roster television goes, WWE has not even come close to the quality that was SmackDown Live from that draft up until the end of 2016. Not even close. Not even close. They did so many things right in 2016. It legitimately was built off of work rate. It was built off of storytelling. It was built off of logic. And that was the Ryan Ward era, man. That was the Ryan Ward era. Promoted from NXT that year to write SmackDown Live. Then Road Dogg came on to help him. They did everything right. AJ Styles was the leader of that locker room. The house that AJ Styles built was born. We had The Miz and Dolph Ziggler battle it out for the Intercontinental Championship, where Dolph Ziggler put his career on the line. And I don't think the Intercontinental Championship, maybe Seth Rollins, definitely, not maybe, definitely. Outside of Seth Rollins, that Intercontinental Championship has never seen that much importance since then. The Miz and Dolph Ziggler did work to make that title the most important title in the company. I haven't felt that way about that title in a very long time, man. That feud was unbelievable. I loved everything about that feud. The Miz in that period was unstoppable. He was on top of his game. I loved everything about that. Tag Team Championships. You had the unlikely duo of Heath Slater and Rhino win the Tag Team Championships on a roster that had the Usos as your number one tag team. They were so over. The crowd loved Heath Slater and his 16 kids. And Rhino going to the trailer park to hang out with Heath Slater, having Cheese Whiz and crackers, man. It was just organic. They let the WWE superstars be themselves. It wasn't forced. It didn't come off unnatural. Everything about it was just lovable. You were engaged. They ended up winning the Tag Team Championships, and it was just a great moment. I remember it like it was yesterday. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, they were carrying the main event scene for SmackDown Live. Baron Corbin got his shot on SmackDown Live. Becky Lynch put one foot in the door to break herself away from Charlotte and Sasha Banks, who were running Monday Night Raw. She was there with Alexa Bliss. We've seen the return of Mickie James. Mickie James came back to SmackDown Live after so many years away from WWE. Everything about it was just real. The land of opportunity, SmackDown Live. I haven't felt that way since then. And then after 2016, it gave way to the Jinder Mahal era. And I don't know how anybody with a functioning brain and 2 eyeballs could realistically like what they did in 2017. We got Bray Wyatt winning the WWE Championship, and then after that, it seemed like Wyatt winning the championship put a fucking curse on the entire WWE. Jinder Mahal wins the WWE Championship from Randy Orton, and then the Mahal era just pretty much crippled SmackDown Live to a point where it basically never recovered. I would have seen anybody else in that role but Jinder Mahal. And WWE did it for the India market, whatever excuse that they had come up with. It was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. I would never put that show and that title, that brand, in that state to do what they did with Jinder Mahal. They had one opportunity and they failed to rectify that mistake. Shinsuke Nakamura burst onto the scene in 2017, and even Mahal ran through Shinsuke Nakamura until AJ Styles took the title from him in November of 2017, which then, at that point, saved us from a Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar match at the Survivor Series. God forbid. SmackDown Live has really never recovered since then. We've seen a good show here and a good show there, but it has never reached the quality that was the 2016 era of SmackDown Live. Right after that first draft that we seen. Now we got another draft coming up. We got another draft coming up on October 11th, and I can only hope that I feel the same way about this new Friday Night SmackDown era that I did for the Tuesday Night SmackDown Live era. I can only hope. But SmackDown Live, as we know it, folks, no more on the USA Network. It is now moving to Friday nights, and I don't know what else to say. I hope WWE takes everything that they've done since 2016 with that draft, going on into this new deal with Fox, this upcoming draft. I hope that they take this very seriously. I hope that Fox is stern with WWE, and I hope that Fox guides them in the right direction. There's too much money on the line here. WWE certainly knows that the quality of their shows are not where it should be. Ratings are dwindling week by week. Whether there's NFL or not, Fox needs to get WWE on the right track. And I'm not saying I want it to be 100%. I've always stated you take a little from NXT and apply it to the main roster. The shows would be a lot better off for it if they take just a little and give me television that doesn't insult my intelligence, television that is serious, television that is consistent week by week by week. And we really get, now that WWE is going to be mingling with NFL and everything else that's sports related on Fox, we get that little bit of seriousness in that sports directive. I'll be happy. I just want it to feel organic. I want it to feel real. I want to feel like I did back in 2016. I think we all deserve it. And I think SmackDown as a brand in general deserves it. So this coming Friday, guys, the debut on Fox. This is the last episode for SmackDown Live. I am JD. Thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Sorry that this is getting up much later than usual, but I was at the Alter Bridge concert last night. I had a fantastic time. It was a long day. I met the band finally after so many times seeing them, man. It was my 8th time seeing them last night. I even told them. And I'm like, this is my 8th time meeting you guys, or seeing you guys, and my first time meeting you. And I told them that, Blackbird is near and dear to my heart, and it was just a really great experience. They were so nice. They actually noticed my Braves hat as well, and they were joking around, oh, the Braves are playing well this year. I'm like, yeah, let's see if they get out of the NLDS first. But the concert itself, it was awesome. And Miles Kennedy, the lead singer, man, I felt so bad for him. He was so sick. And he had Mark Tremonti take a lot of the workload last night, vocal-wise. He had the crowd take a lot of the workload, vocal-wise. So I don't feel like I am ever ripped off from Alter Bridge. It's just the fact that Miles is probably the greatest lead singer in music, period. And the fact that he couldn't use his voice to its maximum potential, it was not disappointing because their sound was fucking phenomenal. I think this was maybe the best that they've ever sounded that I've seen them live. But to know that Miles wasn't at his full strength, you know, I don't want to say it's disappointing. I just felt bad that people were not graced by that man's voice. So whenever they come back around again, I will definitely be there every single time. So I was at the concert last night, guys, but I was very up to date on everything with SmackDown Live. That's why I'm here, so we're going to go over it today right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support the podcast via Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Check out Off the Script from this past weekend if you missed it. Check out the Monday Night Raw review video if you missed it. Everything you need so far from this past weekend up until Raw will be linked down in the description below. Make sure you guys go and check all that out and show your support on those videos if you can. I would really, really appreciate it. And the podcast today, guys, is brought to you guys by Audible. Quickly, audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys can get 30 days free of Audible service and one free audiobook of your choice when you use our unique link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys can use Audible anywhere and everywhere. It's compatible with iPhone and Android devices, man. Whether you're in the shower scrubbing your balls, whether you're outside gardening, whether you want to silence the wife and just say, bitch, shut the fuck up. Put on your headphones and get Audible going, man. That's all you got to do. Seriously, even when you can't fall asleep at night and you're in bed and you want something soothing to listen to, turn on Audible, man. It is always going to be there for you. 30 days free and a free audiobook of your choice. Best part is, if you guys sign up, you're going to get 30 days. You're going to get the audiobook. If you feel like Audible's not for you, you can cancel at any time in that 30 days and still keep your audiobook for free. That's audibletrial.com/offthescript. SmackDown Live started off with Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan, the new pet project, apparently, by Vince McMahon and WWE Creative. Monday Night Raw was in San Francisco. SmackDown Live was in San Francisco. The nights between the two venues were like night and day. Monday Night Raw's crowd was horrific. They were boring. They didn't give a shit about anything. They woke up during the Chad Gable Baron Corbin match, but that was about it. That was it. Maybe the Fiend stuff, but that's about it. This San Francisco crowd was very alive. They were very enthusiastic. They were very energetic. And it really made a difference in Eric Rowan. Because when Eric Rowan comes out, a lot of the time, people don't give a shit. A lot of the time, people are just sitting on their hands waiting for either Daniel Bryan to come out or Roman Reigns to come out or both Harper and Rowan to destroy everything in their sights, in their path, and cause chaos. But this San Francisco crowd really gave it to Eric Rowan, which highlighted everything that they've been doing over the last couple of weeks, which was a pleasant sight to see. Some people don't really take into consideration how vital an audience is to something like this. When they're not on, it makes everything such a struggle to get through. When they're on like they were last night, Eric Rowan in his heel role with Luke Harper on Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, everything is enhanced. So I was happy to see that. Eric Rowan says, "What I did was create violence that commands respect. Fans are chanting, 'You suck.' Don't just call me an artist, call me a creator," he says. Now, he went on to say that the fans like to belittle him and treat him as if he is less than human by calling him a big redwood. He said, "It reminds me of a saying, might makes right." He said, what matters is whether you can destroy and dominate, and if you can, that makes you right. He said the entire SmackDown locker room knows he's right, and that's why they are afraid. And then out comes Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan walked out to the ring in wrestling gear. And the crowd is obviously giving him a babyface reaction. Yes chants all over the place. This was a very yes chant heavy crowd. He told Rowan that he feels he is right and wants respect. Fight me right now. That was pretty much it. Dropped the mic, challenged Rowan. Referee was already there. Bell rings. We got an impromptu match with Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Now, the first thing in my mind is this is a little too quick for something like this to happen. You know, impromptu match. This is not the type of situation where an impromptu match should happen. This should be a scheduled thing. Their attacks have been deliberate. Their attacks have been calculated. Their attacks have been brutal. You don't book a match like this with Rowan in the role that he's in and the victim here in Daniel Bryan impromptu. This is supposed to mean a little bit more than what WWE did last night. That's the only thing I would say bad about the way SmackDown Live opened up last night. It should have been a little bit more than just impromptu. So that's the way I see it. Now, as far as this match goes, this was awesome. I thought this match was great. It went 17 minutes. Crowd was big into Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is not really pandering like he was to the crowd like he was when he was a babyface. He is being received as a babyface right now, but Bryan's demeanor is still that new Daniel Bryan demeanor. He isn't really owning up to the crowd. He isn't doing babyface Daniel Bryan related, mannerisms. The yes kicks are there, but as far as Daniel Bryan goes, I have this weird conspiracy theory that I want to bring to your attention. At the end of all this, with Bryan and Rowan having this match, and then Harper coming out, making it a 2-on-1. Roman Reigns comes out. He makes it a 2-on-2. At the end of the match, they challenge Harper and Rowan to a match at Hell in a Cell tag team match. The little conspiracy theory that I have is it's September, and it's Connor's Cure. Now, I don't know if anybody else in the community mentioned this, but I have a weird feeling that this can't end with Bryan and Roman beating Harper and Rowan at Hell in a Cell. It can't. Because where does that leave Harper and Rowan at the end of all this? You're doing all of this to get them over. And I feel like even with a win over Bryan and a win over Roman, it's not enough for Harper and Rowan in the end. Yes, they've looked dominant. But they need a victory now over both to solidify them as the fucking men who are running this show. Now, with Daniel Bryan in this position of babyface, and I use that term loosely, it is September. Connor's Cure is big in WWE in September. They're running the campaign all month. Who is the number one man behind the Connor's Cure ad campaign? Who's the face of Connor's Cure? Daniel Bryan. He was as close to Connor the Crusher than anybody. He's the entire reason why we go out there and donate to Connor's Cure. Daniel Bryan. All over the advertisements, all over those heartfelt video packages. Daniel Bryan being a babyface in the month of September being Connor's Cure. I don't think that's done by coincidence, folks. I think that was purposely done for this month. How would it look if Daniel Bryan is a heel and he's evil Daniel Bryan like we've seen him during the summer? In the month of September, when he is the face of Connor's Cure. There's only one way this ends. There's only one way this ends. And it could still very well end up being this way. I do think, I could be wrong, but I do think Daniel Bryan is going to turn on Roman Reigns. I do think Daniel Bryan is going to turn on Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell. He's going to align with Harper and Rowan. He's going to be the mastermind behind all of this, even though we've seen this 17-minute fucking brutal match between Rowan and Bryan on SmackDown Live. Bryan is going to be revealed as the mastermind behind all of this. Roman is going to be left fighting all of this alone. But not really. Because in come the Usos. Survivor Series. Bryan, Roman, go head-to-head at Survivor Series. They got their guys. Roman's got the Usos. Bryan's got the team of Harper and Rowan. 3-on-3, and I think that would be a perfect setting to just end all of this. There you go. And then we eventually get the Roman and Bryan storyline, and you can build from there, and then you can battle the Usos, Harper, and Rowan, and they could go at it, and they could be the top 2 teams for the tag team titles on SmackDown Live. Other than that, I really don't know what else to do. I gave you the pitch of the AOP. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that would be a great situation for the Authors of Pain, but I don't see WWE doing that. I definitely see them doing more so Bryan turning on Roman, and that would be fucking great. How great would it be if Bryan is on the apron waiting for a hot tag from Roman and he just nonchalantly turns his back or makes some fucking lame excuse why he can't tag in? That would be great. That would be great television. So, I honestly think that's where they're going with this, but I don't think it's coincidence that Bryan is now a baby face, and I use that term loosely, in the month of September where WWE pushes Connor's Cure so much. So we'll see what happens, man. This was a great match. Some scary spots in this match. The one spot that I loved is when Rowan caught Bryan running out of the corner, caught him in a power slam position, and then muscled him up and turned it into a jackhammer. That was awesome. The other spot was Rowan had his knees worked on. And what I seen is that he didn't sell the knees at all. Bryan put the knee around the ring post. Bryan was working on the knee, drop kicked the knee. He didn't really sell the knee at all. Rowan was not limping at all during the match after that spot. I would appreciate at least some sell by Eric Rowan on the knee. Now, with the one spot that scared the shit out of me, it's when Rowan took Bryan in the claw and gave him the claw slam on the top fucking rope, where it looked like Bryan fucking tore his knee, his leg got caught in the top rope. I don't know what Rowan was doing. I don't know if that was planned. I don't know why you would do such a risky spot with someone like Daniel Bryan. I honestly thought after that, the way the referee was struggling to get Bryan out of the rope, I legitimately thought he tore his knee up. And I was worried that Bryan, with the limping that he did, was just going to be severely hurt after that spot. Thank God I didn't hear anything yet, and he did make the match. He was walking on his own, and the challenge was made. But man, they got to cut that shit out. They really do. That was just a very scary situation, and I'm just thankful Daniel Bryan is okay. Like I said, the claw led to Rowan beating Bryan. Harper and Rowan double-team Bryan. Out comes Roman Reigns. Superman punch to Harper. Spear to Rowan. After the match is over, Bryan says, "All I want is one word. Do you want to see me and Roman kick these guys' disrespectful asses?" And the crowd chanted yes. So then we get the match at Hell in a Cell. It's Roman and Bryan versus Harper and Rowan. Tag team match at Hell in a Cell. I thought this was a very good open, but let me know what you guys think about that entire situation. The Connor's Cure situation and Bryan turning on Roman at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, leading to him being the mastermind behind all this, and then obviously Roman enlisting the Usos to make it an even 3-on-3 at the Survivor Series. No one ever said that the Survivor Series had to be a traditional 4-on-4. We've seen 3-on-3 matches at the Survivor Series. So let me know what you guys think about all of that. Michael Cole interviewed Kofi Kingston in a backstage sit-down setting. Kofi didn't like Cole introducing him without enthusiasm. I didn't really like this promo either. I thought this promo was incredibly cringe. And I will go on and give you the reason why I thought that in a little bit. Kofi showed Cole how to introduce him. Cole said that they tried that once, but it didn't work out so well. Kofi admitted Cole's hip movements need work. So he's asking him in this sit-down about Brock Lesnar and the attack last week for the WWE Championship, and Kofi is mentioning Cole needs to work on his hip movements. Bro, you just got F5'd from Brock Lesnar. He shows up on your brand being a Monday Night Raw superstar, wanting your WWE Championship. Paul Heyman's laying down the gauntlet for a match next Friday on SmackDown, and you're worrying about Michael Cole's hip movements? Can we get serious for a second? This is what I'm talking about being fucking serious. I'm not saying Kofi can't be power of positivity, but there's nothing to be positive about here. This is Brock Lesnar. This is not some fucking Dolph Ziggler who's lost 6 matches in a row. This is Brock Lesnar. Your title reign more than likely is coming to an end. Let's get serious for a second. Kofi said he made a promise when he became champion he'd be a fighting champion, and this is just another chapter. He said he feels at the top of his game. He said he defeated Samoa Joe, loser. Randy Orton, blah. Kevin Owens, loser. Daniel Bryan, okay. Probably the best out of all 5 of these guys. Dolph Ziggler, loser. Said he feels he is at the top of his game and he feels pretty good. Cole talked about Friday Night Smackdown premiere on Fox. He asked if he feels pressure. Kofi said he always feels pressure. But this is a huge deal for WWE to be involved with Fox. He said people think Brock is going to just have his way and be the big attraction and walk out as champion. Kofi says he's not ready to give up the title just yet after how hard he's worked. He said he knows when he walks out of the Fox premiere on October 4th after beating Lesnar, he'll remain your WWE World Heavyweight Champion, baby. And he went into that long-winded just pause where he says WWE World. Give me a break. Michael Cole was more serious than Kofi Kingston in this entire interview. And that's not what I want to see. This is Brock Lesnar. Some level of seriousness would be much appreciated here. You're going into a match against the one guy who more than likely will end your reign. And you're out here worrying about hip movements and you're saying the same shit you said about everybody else before him. We don't need to hear you reiterate, oh, I'm going to be a fighting champion. Show me. How are you going to handle Brock Lesnar? What do you think about Brock Lesnar showing up on your show asking for something that he really doesn't deserve? And here you are accepting the challenge. What's going through your mind? Why didn't they bring up the Beast from the East scenario where Brock Lesnar fucking decimated Kofi Kingston? Does he remember that? Certainly doesn't look like it. Because if we get that Kofi on Friday, then the title reign is over. Kofi is walking out with nothing. Nothing. And Brock Lesnar is going to walk out of fucking IHOP without leaving a tip. Fucking ridiculous, man. Get serious. This is why people want Kofi's title reign to end. He came off awful in this promo. I don't want to see it anymore. Now, does Kofi beat Lesnar? A lot of people are saying, watch WWE beat Lesnar. I doubt that WWE is going to have Kofi Kingston beat Brock Lesnar. Because if it follows the same path of everybody that Brock Lesnar has been in the ring with, similar to Kofi Kingston, it ain't happening. Kofi's going to look like $1 million. Kofi's going to look the best he's ever looked during this title reign. Lesnar's showing up for work. But I don't think Lesnar is going to drop on his back and have Kofi trouble in paradise him for the 1, 2, 3. It might end in a fuck finish. It might end in some screwy fashion, outside interference, whatever. Because Friday, October 4th is October 4th. Hell in a Cell is on October 6th. Now, I don't necessarily think that the WWE Championship needs to be defended at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. If it doesn't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. This is Kofi's Hell in a Cell. This is his pay-per-view. This is bigger than the fucking pay-per-view. We got The Fiend on that show. I don't think WWE would be right by booking Lesnar and Kofi in a rematch on Sunday after Friday, and I think that they should give all that priority and all that spotlight to Bray Wyatt on Sunday night. Leave this as a one and done. Seriously. Leave this as a one and done. Lesnar wins, move on. There's no need or reason to have this happen again on Sunday. Nobody wants to see it. Once is enough. And that's all I will really stand for at this moment. Lesnar winning, move on. Bray Wyatt wins the title from Seth Rollins. We are underway in the new era. Simple. These two champions on both brands got to go. Rollins got to go, and Kofi's got to go. Wyatt's got to come on in. Lesnar, being that he is Brock Lesnar, not many people really want Lesnar to win, but if you're asking me who I'd rather have as WWE Champion, I'm going with Brock. So Friday, next week, is going to be a big, big, big news week. We'll see what happens. Chad Gable's in the ring, stood in the middle of the ring. He had a microphone in his hand. Gable needs to work on his mic skills. They're not bad. They're not bad. I wouldn't say that they're overly great. Same thing with Ricochet. I'd lump him into that category. He needs to work on his mic skills. What he does in the ring is fucking phenomenal. Some of the best in the business. But his mic skills need some work. Talked about Baron Corbin. Said no matter how hard he tries, he'll always come up short. So not only does Vince McMahon have others in the ring with Chad Gable, cutting him down, making short jokes, he's now making short jokes about himself. Don't understand that. Yes, that was a short joke, he said. Said his run in the King of the Ring tournament was no joke, nor was his match at Monday Night Raw against Corbin. He said Corbin took the low road and got himself disqualified. Out comes Mike Kanellis, the beta male cuck, says Corey Graves. Mike Kanellis interrupted, walked out, and said he's really sorry to come out here and cut Chad Gable short. So we just had Chad Gable cut himself down with a short joke, and then Mike Kanellis comes out and does the very same thing. So why have Gable say it if Mike Kanellis was only going to say it anyway? Fucking stupid. Said he wanted to prove to his pregnant wife, Maria, who, by the way, that storyline needs to end immediately. He wanted to prove to Maria that size really does matter. I wonder if he's using Blue Chew. BlueChew.com and use code JD at checkout. You guys get to try Blue Chew for free on me. So we get Chad Gable versus Mike Kanellis. This one was not even a minute. We had a chaos theory and an ankle lock, and that was pretty much it. So after the match, Gable wins. He's celebrating. And then Elias shows up on the screen on the Titantron. And another short joke. He's strumming the guitar, and he says, "Hello, shorty." He said that he's been following Gable's story, which inspired him to write a little song. And it goes like this. Chad Gable, the underdog, has everyone inspired. If it was up to me, little people like you would be fired. He went on to say the King of the Ring, if he won, wouldn't have been able to see over the steering wheel. He said women laugh at him because he has nothing to give. Randy Newman said it best, that sure people have no reason to live. There you go. I don't know how I feel about a Gable and Elias match. I felt the same way about Baron Corbin, really. Baron Corbin wasn't lighting the world on fire with his wrestling ability. Neither does Elias, but Gable brought Baron Corbin to some of the best main roster matches that he's had since he's been on the main roster. I wonder if Gable could do the same thing about Elias. Now, I don't know what the status of Elias' injury is. Some people were saying that it was a sprain. Some people were saying that it was a break. But I'm going to look at this, believe it or not, I'm going to look at this in a positive. Because a lot of people were worried that Chad Gable was not going to be on TV after he lost the King of the Ring. WWE immediately booked another rematch, which was pretty much the same match that we've seen in the finals. But it was a great match nonetheless. Gable is great at what he does. I want to see more of Chad Gable. I think Chad Gable could be a great babyface character and a great underdog babyface on SmackDown Live. Maybe a mid-card title run at some point in 2019, 2020. But I'm going to look at this in a positive way. I don't like Elias. I think Elias has really just... that ship has sailed. I don't really give a shit about Elias. I think the character is nothing more than a novelty act that doesn't make me laugh anymore. It doesn't excite me. They had so much promise and so much potential in Elias, and they just squandered him away in this meaningless role that he's in. He's entertaining. He's got a great look. If they let him do what he's got to do, I think Elias could bounce back from this just mediocre fucking state that he's in. But if this means Chad Gable getting more TV time, then I'm all for it. If this means more of Chad Gable on our TVs, then I am all for it. Because the people obviously want to cheer for Chad Gable. And if Chad Gable and Elias go at it in a series of matches, and it helps Gable maintain that level of consistency on TV, and it helps Elias get a little bit better than what I remember him doing in the ring. He had that great match with Ali, right? Everybody was boasting about Elias in that King of the Ring match he had with Ali. If we can get Elias to do something like that and Gable stays on TV, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So I really can't look at this in a negative way because I want to see more of Gable. And if Elias back on TV means more Gable. Gets my thumbs up. Backstage, Charlotte asked R-Truth if he's seen Carmella. Truth says he doesn't know anyone by the name of Carmella. And Charlotte was like, give me a break. Where's Carmella? You know who she is. Now, he said that she's on the run as the 48-7-11 European TV champion. So the fact that he is constantly just fucking up the name of the championship, it's not funny anymore. It really isn't. It's more cringe than anything. And the level of importance that this title holds over anything else, as far as championships go, is nauseating. Get rid of it. I keep saying every single week, get rid of the fucking title. Carmella walked out of the locker room. She's like, Truth, don't worry about it. I got this. Charlotte asked if she's focused on their tag team match later tonight with Bayley and Sasha Banks. Carmella said Bayley isn't the Bayley she knew. Charlotte said she's exactly the Bayley she's always knew and laughed at the fact that Carmella said what she said. Truth then tried to do Ric Flair's woo, and they all laughed at him. And then he's like, did I do it right? Did I do it right? And both Carmella and Charlotte walked off. Don't really care about any of these individuals at this point during this segment. It is what it is. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Carmella and Charlotte Flair. This tag team match, I don't know why I should be invested in this. I really don't. WWE is trying to sell me on Carmella in this entire storyline with Sasha, with Becky, with Charlotte, with Bayley. They're trying to sell me on Carmella, which I appreciate them trying to get another female act to feel relevant. Because WWE, we all know, uses the same 6 women, rinse and repeat, every single week. I appreciate them trying to get Carmella involved, but this is not where Carmella should be involved. You see, the logical thing should be, let the horsewomen take care of their situation. Everybody else has felt so irrelevant for weeks. Now I'm supposed to care about Carmella because she's involved with the horsewomen. Instead of you building everybody up in the division underneath the horsewomen and giving them importance, having them win matches, having a revolving door of matches week in and week out so that you have someone at the end of the fucking line that makes sense to challenge either Charlotte or Bayley or Sasha and Becky. WWE has not done that. Now they'll probably use the draft as an excuse. Oh, the rosters are going to switch anyway. Nobody knows where everybody's going to be in October. So what? So what? The wins and losses carry over no matter what brand you are. I don't understand why I should care about Carmella when no prior knowledge or information was given to the fan base or the audience about Carmella and Bayley's friendship. Now all of a sudden I'm supposed to care about Bayley and Carmella? You didn't make me care before. Why am I going to care now? And the only reason why this match happened was because Sasha has looked like a fucking geek in the last couple of weeks. She's looked weak. She hasn't really won a match. She's been chased off. She's been beat up. She's been taken advantage of. Bayley and Sasha have run around like cowardly heels. The only reason why this match happened on SmackDown was because Carmella was the odd woman out and Sasha needed a strong victory. She needed to look strong at the end of all this. Thus, we got a tap out. Thus, we got the bank statement. And Sasha looked strong on someone who isn't Charlotte, Becky, or anybody else of that nature. So I don't understand why I need to care about Carmella when WWE blatantly put it out there that this woman was just there to eat the pinfall. I don't care. How could you make me care about Carmella in a serious storyline when for 4 months this woman has been helping R-Truth sell hot dogs and fucking run around, grab Dorito chips off the rack in 7-Eleven with this fucking championship? Come on, man. You can't have them do one or the other. You want the women to look serious and be serious? Then get this fucking championship away from all this bullshit. And how much priority does WWE have in Carmella when they just sent out the parade of fucking losers to chase her off at the end of all this. It looked so stupid. So Carmella was there to eat the pinfall. That was pretty much it. Carmella's chased off Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Ember Moon, chasing the 24/7 title. Speechless. Speechless. So much so that my phone was blowing up during the concert last night. And I had to tweet. Fucking Skillet was on stage, and I gotta tweet my fucking displeasure. People sending me GIFs. People sending me screenshots. Asuka and Ember Moon and Kairi Sane with her fucking telescope running after the 24/7 title. Meanwhile, WWE doesn't realize that those three women are three of the best female talents that they have employed on any fucking brand. I pray to God that those three women have contracts coming up and they all individually leave and go somewhere else. Because WWE clearly is not showing them any creativity, anything at all, as far as SmackDown Live goes. It sucks. It really does suck to watch that, to look at that, and I feel for these women. I genuinely feel for these women. Fucking Asuka has 70,000 YouTube subscribers on a video game channel that she just started up. The woman is fucking on her YouTube channel imitating the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time theme on a fucking flute because she has no prior fucking SmackDown TV time. None! What do you want this woman to do? She is in such fucking desire. She's in dire need of TV time. She wants to be on TV that she's got to put herself on YouTube and play fucking Super Mario Maker. This is what the creativity on SmackDown Live, this is what the women's division has come to on SmackDown Live. Not only on SmackDown Live, in WWE in general. Awful. Becky Lynch comes out and she beats up both Bayley and Sasha Banks. And she tried to put the disarmor on Sasha Banks, but Bayley pulled her out of the ring by her leg. Thank God, because I've had enough of Sasha looking weak. And it wouldn't have made any sense anyway when she just tapped out Carmella and then she's going to get put in a disarmor? I don't get that. The one thing I did like about this match was Charlotte had the figure 8 on Carmella. Or on Bayley, rather, or somebody. I don't know. It was on Bayley, not Carmella. Because Charlotte, I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore. Charlotte had the fucking figure 8 on Bayley. And Sasha broke up the pinfall, or the submission, rather, with a flying meteor. I think, by default, every time Sasha breaks up a pinfall in a tag team match, she's got to fucking fly at somebody with a meteor. I love that. I thought that was awesome. This did nothing for me. And now we get another match. The match that we got at Madison Square Garden with the Horsewomen during that big MSG show on Monday Night Raw. We're getting it again on Friday Night SmackDown. The Horsewomen, Bayley and Sasha versus Becky and Charlotte, all over again. Hopefully it's better this time around than it was in MSG, because that didn't do anything for me. Hopefully they change my mind on Friday night. Charlotte, as far as Charlotte goes, just one quick thing on Charlotte. This woman, I hope to God WWE doesn't lead her to a babyface role. I don't want to see it. Keep this woman away, far, far away from any babyface role on this show. Because I can't stand her as it is. And if you put her in a babyface role, that's not a role meant for Charlotte. She's a bitch. She's a queen. She's got to play that, Flair-like role. And that's not a babyface. Moving on here, man. Ali versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This one went 8 minutes. Ali looked like a dumb baby face. As always, WWE doesn't know how to book or treat their baby faces. Ali took a suicide dive on the outside. I swear to God, I thought he landed on his head. Holy shit, man. Suicide dive supposed to go like this, right? Ali went like this onto the fucking concrete. I thought he almost killed himself within 30 seconds of this match. I'm like, what the fuck? Ali's offense is so great. I love Ali, man. The announce team kept saying that, well, if Ali wins this match, if he beats the Intercontinental Champion, this will put him in line for a future title shot. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you drop this match for the fucking Miz But before you did that, didn't Ali beat Nakamura in a one-on-one match on this very program? What more does he have to do? He beat Nakamura already. You want me to believe that he has to beat him again to get another title shot? It's like WWE has fucking Alzheimer's. What did I watch about a month ago? What did I watch before you put Nakamura in a worthless feud with The Miz? I'd love someone to explain it to me, because apparently we need to do it again. Because WWE thinks their fans are fucking retarded. Ali, dumb baby face syndrome. He does a tope con hero over the top rope, over the referee. Takes out Nakamura. Sami Zayn gets in his face. Ali's yelling, I can't stand you anymore. I can't stand you and your antics. So Sami Zayn is being chased by Ali. Zayn runs into the ring. Ali runs into the ring after Zayn. Nakamura is waiting there with a Kinshasa. Ali gets pinned 1, 2, 3. Nothing the referee could do about it because Sami Zayn didn't lay one finger on Ali. What a fucking idiot. What an idiot. You want me to take Ali seriously, and here he has a great match with explosive offense, and then at the end of the match when he's about to win, and he could easily put Nakamura away, you would think, well, I gotta beat this guy again to get an Intercontinental Championship match. He's instead chasing Sami Zayn right into a fucking Kinshasa. How am I supposed to take Ali seriously after that? Nakamura wins in 8 minutes, Kinshasa. The one thing I do understand is that if you put these guys in a 15-minute match for the Intercontinental Championship and you really invest the time into both of these guys with that championship in front of a fucking crowd that loves what they're watching, that would be awesome. I just feel like these guys have a breakout match waiting to happen. We've seen glimpses of it here. It was too short, mixed in with the commercial break, too short for us to really invest ourselves in. You put these guys on a pay-per-view, this could be the dark horse match for a pay-per-view match of the night. I'd love to see it. I just don't like when WWE treats their babyfaces like fucking idiots. This was like the cream of the crop. Fucking ridiculous, man. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. New Day. Xavier Woods and Big E versus the B Team. This was harmless. Not really needed. I don't know where everybody else on this fucking show is. Where's Buddy Murphy? Where's Aleister Black? Where's Andrade? I don't understand why you have that level of talent off the show, yet I'm seeing the fucking B Team on SmackDown Live. Does the New Day need a victory? Do the New Day even need to be on this fucking show? I never once understood why we need to have the New Day on every single fucking show. This was worthless. It was harmless, but it was worthless. 3 minutes, midnight hour. We had a Bo Dallas fucking Bo train. He's doing the victory laps. Big E joins him in running around, right? He takes Curtis Axel, throws him into the timekeeper's area. He takes Bo Dallas, and he fucking levels him on the outside. Throws him in the ring. Midnight hour. That was it. After the match, Big E jumps into the crowd. Front row, right behind the commentators. Some of the San Francisco 49ers are sitting, and Big E jumps into the crowd, celebrating with all of them. There you go. I guess that was the feel-good moment for San Francisco. That's why they booked the New Day in this match. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus the Kabuki Warriors. Mandy Rose, before the match, was handing out magazines. Sonya Deville was asking her, Mandy, we got a match with the Kabuki Warriors. We need to take this seriously. Why are you handing out magazines? Can you cut it out? Mandy said they're going to have a parade for her in Australia next month. Great. So she was handing out Maxim magazines. Otis came up and did his, oh yeah! Showed up and took a selfie with Mandy Rose. She looked disgusted. He then took one of the magazines. She didn't hand him one. He took one. And then Tucker came over and he was looking at the magazines all googly-eyed. This was nothing compared to the tweets that we see Otis sending Mandy Rose on social media. So there you go. I love Otis, man. More heavy machinery on this show. Please. Heavy machinery should have fucking squashed the B Team. This one went 4 minutes. I hope. Now, obviously, Asuka and Kairi Sane. I don't even want to say obviously, because you never know with this company, but Asuka and Kairi Sane won. We had an insane elbow from Kairi Sane, and that's what did it. I hope that Asuka and Kairi Sane are just not used as a one-off here. I hope that somebody Get Asuka on Monday Night Raw. I feel like under the direction of Paul Heyman, I feel like if Paul Heyman had Asuka on Monday Night Raw, that she would be guided in the right direction. Break this fucking tag team up. They don't belong together. They don't. They're only paired together because they're both of Japanese background. That's it. This cringe Kabuki Warriors name and fucking theme that they got going on. Get Asuka on Monday Night Raw and put her with Paul Heyman. I want to see what he could do with her. If anything, Paul Heyman could make her into the killer that we all know she is. Kairi Sane could stay on SmackDown Live and she could have a hand in that division and really bring out some great matches with a potential Becky Lynch if she gets moved over there, or a potential Charlotte Flair. That's what I'd like to see. But I hope this is not used as just a one-off to get them on TV and then back to catering they go. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, man. After the Mandy Rose promo on Nikki Cross, I'm more beautiful than everybody on the roster. I'm more beautiful, this and that. Men are holding doors open for me because I'm so beautiful. I sense that Sonya Deville is getting annoyed with Mandy Rose, and this could be WWE teasing a potential breakup here, which I don't know why they would do, because they have no legit tag teams. And the more you tease breaking up women's tag teams, the less that Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are actually going to have. And believe it or not, the less those titles are going to mean. And they're at the bottom of the barrel right now. You can't make those titles mean any less. So I sense that Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, there's some frustration there on Sonya. And Mandy Rose could potentially be seeing a breakup. But this went in 4 minutes. Asuka and Kairi Sane win. Top rope, insane elbow, and that was it. Get Asuka over to Monday Night Raw. I'd love to see what Paul Heyman can do with her. Shane McMahon and his 3 lawyers ended the show. They walked out. Owens came out. Shane offered a clean slate to Kevin Owens and the rescinding of his giant fine, $105, I believe, $1,000. Now, he would rescind the fine if KO dropped this lawsuit. Since lawsuits can be so draining with all the legal fees, appeals, and courtroom time, that's going to be bad for his family. Owens says Shane is an idiot. Says what he wants is Shane's ass to get fired because he doesn't belong in a locker room with him. Now, KO said he wanted one final match, and it's loser leaves WWE. Shane asked what the catch was. KO said there's no catch, other than he wants a ladder match, you know? You're always saying you got to climb the ladder and your family, you know, is at the top of the corporate ladder in the company. I want to end you by that same means. I want to reach the top of the ladder. I want you to put the contract up there, and I want to end you in a ladder match. And that was pretty much the way the show went off the air. It looked like it was very rushed. It felt very rushed. And then they went right to a backstage segment with Kayla Braxton and Becky Lynch, where we've seen Sasha Banks attack Becky Lynch, which I'll talk about in a second. But let's get back to this Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon nonsense. Can this be the end of it, please? Can this be the final end of all this? Now, I don't want to say that Kevin Owens is a definite victor here. I don't want to say Kevin Owens is definitely winning this proposed ladder match whenever it takes place. If I'm making this decision, I'm booking it on Friday. I'm booking that on SmackDown Live. Now, if I'm WWE here, what am I going to do? Kevin Owens is the right outcome. But every time we think, and this is a WWE thing, every time we think WWE is going to do something that you think is right, they do the opposite. Shane McMahon was supposed to lose, rather. He was supposed to lose to The Miz at WrestleMania. That was supposed to be The Miz's WrestleMania moment. That was supposed to end that storyline. Shane McMahon won. Roman Reigns was supposed to beat Shane McMahon at the Super Showdown. Shane McMahon beats Roman Reigns. So, if history is all we have to go on, Kevin Owens isn't looking all that lucky here in this ladder match. Now, as far as this storyline, I just want it to end. I can't take Kevin Owens being teased with termination anymore. I really can't. But I love the fact that this is a ladder match, because not only is this a potential for Shane McMahon to just fucking go out there and be a crazy motherfucker like he usually is. I love ladder matches, and this is the perfect excuse to get him off television. Because not only should Kevin Owens win this match and get Shane McMahon off of television. How long that is, I don't know. This is a McMahon we're talking about. He's not going to be off television forever. They run this shit. He'll be back in 6 months. Guaranteed. But it's the perfect excuse for Shane McMahon to go out there and risk himself because he wants Kevin Owens done so badly. In a losing effort, risk himself. And that is a perfect excuse to keep him off television because at 50 fucking years old, I don't know how well a 50-year-old could really recuperate from a 20-minute fucking ladder match. I don't know. So like I said, it's a perfect excuse to get him off of fucking television just based on the aspect of the match and how dangerous the match is. But Kevin Owens needs to win. We need to move on from this. And I don't appreciate WWE giving us the Kevin Owens who was speaking for us. Get Shane off of television. He's taking opportunity away from this, right? He's taking opportunity away from Buddy Murphy and Asuka and Kairi Sane and Apollo Crews and everybody else on SmackDown Live. Then Kevin Owens goes into this pussified state where, oh my God, Shane, I'm sorry. I want you to take my family into consideration with this $100,000 fine where that is so much of an important aspect to me, where that money is a down payment on a new car for you. You know, that's paying, my children's tuition for school and blah, blah, blah. And then Kevin Owens is right back to demanding the removal of Shane McMahon off television like he was in week 1 of this whole thing. We went from Rebel KO to Pussy KO back to Rebel KO. But nobody remembers the Pussy KO, but I certainly do. That little hiccup in the middle of all this ruined Kevin Owens' momentum. Now you're building the momentum back up. It's as if WWE does it on purpose. It's like, yeah, we want to push this guy, but then, yeah, we don't want to push him. Yeah, we want to push him again. You got to remain consistent. That inconsistency is going to resonate with the audience, and they're not going to care as much as they should. That's what I feel in this entire situation. But the ladder match itself, I'm excited for. I just want this shit to end. Now, SmackDown Live ended with Becky Lynch being attacked by Sasha Banks. Kayla asks Becky about the Hell in a Cell, and if Sasha has an advantage in the Hell in a Cell. Becky asks, what is Sasha without a head start? And that was pretty much it. Sasha ran from the back and attacked Becky from behind, threw her into some production crates. The final visual was all you really needed for SmackDown Live in the season finale, because they're going to be inside Hell in a Cell. The lasting image on this show was Sasha grating Becky Lynch's face against a fenced portion of whatever. There was a fenced gate backstage, and she was squishing her face against the fence that was backstage. And that is a premonition. That is a foreshadowing of what is to come inside Hell in a Cell. So I like the way SmackDown Live went off the air. I like the fact that it went off the air in a little bit of a rushed manner, but I like the fact that Sasha was getting a clean victory earlier in the night, and then she got back some of that heat on Becky Lynch with a post-match attack. I'm glad for 1 week at least, Sasha is looking strong and she doesn't look weak at the end of these shows, because that's been a problem. I mentioned on Monday Night Raw, I feel like WWE's pulling the leash back on Sasha Banks, and I don't know why. But I hope that WWE goes with this, gives this woman what she deserves, and that's the Women's Championship. And I honestly feel you can't have Sasha walk into Hell in a Cell and not win the championship. I honestly feel at the end of this pay-per-view, Sasha's going to be the Raw Women's Champion and Becky's getting moved to SmackDown Live. That's the way I see it happening. So we'll see what happens, man, going into next week. This was the final episode of SmackDown on USA, and we got Friday coming up, man. It should be good. If I'm WWE, I'm booking that ladder match at SmackDown on Friday. I'm loading that show up to really drive home the fucking viewership, man. That's what I would do. Hell in a Cell is Bray Wyatt. That's all we're watching for. The 2 matches that you got there, that's all you need. Sasha, Becky, Hell in a Cell, and Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. That's all you need. That ladder match should be on SmackDown Live. We'll see what happens. I'm probably wrong on that. But come next week, it's probably going to be the biggest week of the year. We got Raw, AEW debuting, NXT, Friday, SmackDown, and then Hell in a Cell on Sunday, man. I'm going to be fucking swamped with work. Hope you guys are there to see it all. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much for all your support. Hit that thumbs up. I'm getting out of here, guys. I'm going to take a nap. I got NXT, and we'll see you tonight for NXT. Again, sorry this got uploaded so late. I will see you guys right back here for NXT Live tonight on the channel. See you then.